Yo, what's good with y'all? Welcome to another episode of TEQCopsKicks. My name is Technic G. Today we have another fresh sneaker unboxing / review video for y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Today we're taking a look at the Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OG in the band colorway. This pair was released May 2026 and retailed for $145. Once again, Jordan Brand is back with the band story, this time in a low version, just in time for summer. Now this one right here is a classic story brought down into low top form. Anytime you see black and red on a Jordan 1, you already know there's history behind it. But with this pair specifically, Jordan Brand is leaning straight into the whole band narrative. And I think that's what makes this release interesting. On the surface, it's a simple black and red Jordan 1 Low OG. But once you get into the details and the story behind it, there's more to talk about. Off top, this colorway is simple, but that's part of what makes it work. You've got that classic black and red Jordan 1 look, just in a low OG shape. The upper uses a tumbled leather texture, and you can really see that grain through the black side panels and the red swoosh. That texture helps the shoe out a lot, because without it, this colorway would have looked a little too flat. The black leather covers the mudguard, eye stays, side panels, collar area, and tongue. Then the varsity red hits the toe box, swoosh, heel overlays, and outsole. The white midsole breaks everything up and gives the shoe that classic Jordan 1 balance. What separates this pair from a normal black and red Jordan 1 Low OG is the band detailing. On the heel, instead of the traditional Wings logo, you get that red X branding. That detail ties this pair back to the 2011 Air Jordan 1 High band, which also uses the X on the heel and had special storytelling details inside the shoe. And this pair keeps the same idea going. Inside the shoe, you get more details connected to the band story. Most people probably won't notice that when you're wearing them, but as a collector, that kind of stuff matters. It gives the shoe a little more personality instead of being just another colorway. Now, the story behind the band colorway is where things get interesting. The version most people know is that Michael Jordan wore black and red Nike sneakers. The league didn't like them because they didn't follow the uniform rules, and Nike used that controversy to build one of the greatest sneaker marketing campaigns ever. But the real story is a little more complicated than that. The shoe tied to that early uniform issue was actually the Nike Airship, not technically the Air Jordan 1. Nike still took that moment and attached the energy to the Air Jordan 1, and over time, the black and red Jordan 1 became known as the band colorway. So no, the story is not perfectly clean. It's part history, part marketing, and part sneaker legend. But that's also why it worked. Nike took a uniform issue and turned it into an identity. The shoe became bigger than just basketball. It became about standing out, being different, and not fitting into what everyone else is doing. Whether every detail of the story gets told perfectly or not, that energy is why people still care about this colorway today. As far as wearability, this is where the Jordan 1 Low OG makes sense. You still get that classic Jordan 1 look, but the low top shape makes it easier to throw on casually. Jeans, shorts, sweats, it works with all of that. You don't have to overthink this pair. Comfort-wise, it's still a Jordan 1 Low OG. It's not some modern comfort sneaker, and it's not trying to be. It's a lifestyle shoe with a familiar feel. For sizing, I'd stick to true to size. I'm personally a size 12. So if you already like Jordan 1 lows, you pretty much know what you're getting here. The main reason to care about this pair is the colorway, the storytelling, and how easy it is to wear. For me, This pair fits my collection easily. I'm already a fan of black base shoes, black and red Jordans, and classic colorways. So visually, this one already makes sense for me. Then when you add the band details on top of that, it gives the shoe a little more meaning. Now, I'm not going to act like this replaces a high top bread or band Jordan 1. It doesn't. The high top version is always going to be the more iconic version of this colorway, but I do think this pair has a real place. This is an everyday version. It gives you the same general feel, but in a low top shape that's easier to wear casually. And I think that's the strength of this release. It's not trying to do too much. It's just a clean Jordan 1 Low OG with a legendary colorway and the right storytelling details. And I respect that. At the end of the day, the Air Jordan 1 Low OG band is a simple shoe with a big story behind it. The design is straightforward, black, red, and white on a Jordan 1 Low OG. But because it's connected to one of the most important stories in sneaker history, it carries more weight than a normal colorway. And even though the real history is a little messier than the legend, that's kind of what makes it interesting. The Airship was the shoe tied to the original uniform issue, but the Air Jordan 1 became the symbol. That symbol is what lasted. So for me, this pair works because it gives you a wearable version of that story. It's not overdone, it's not trying too hard, and the details are just enough to make it stand out. So let me know what y'all think. Are y'all feeling the Air Jordan 1 Low OG band, or do you think this colorway should have stayed more focused on the high top version? I definitely think that the high top version's better, but this is a no-brainer. I'm a Jordan 1 junkie. This is like pair number 72 or 73 now at this point. I got a bunch of highs, a bunch of lows, a couple mids, because I ain't some sucker that just does what influencers tell him. I like mids too. Jordan was wearing mids. Stop fronting on the mids is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, this is a dope release. Y'all already know what it is. Glad to have it as a part of my collection. It's a hard shoe. I'm digging it. I think the details are all there. I think it's perfect. It would have been kind of nice to have it as an 85 cut, but you know what? I don't run Jordan, I don't run Nike, and I don't make any kind of decisions. So I'm just here copping what they put out, you feel me? But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching episode 32 of TEQCopsKicks. My name is Technic G. Make sure you thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about today's sneaker. You can also follow me on Instagram, X, Facebook, and Threads. Make sure you check out my official website at TEQCopsKicks.com. Keep copping them kicks, y'all. Stay true to yourself. Wear what you like to wear and do what you like to do. Much love, y'all. Peace.